Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the EMEET HD 1080p webcam. Now this is a full HD webcam with it has a couple of microphones on the front with your built-in noise canceling and all that, and it's got some low dependence on light conditions and all that, low light correction, so you get some benefit from that when you first set it up in OBS. Now when you're loading it into or bringing it up into Skype or Zoom or something like that, you're going to get a very different picture. You're going to get a very different picture because the screen size is a little bit different, and the Zoom software or whatever is processing the video through it. Now when you set it up first time in OBS, it's basically going to look like this. It's not going to be refined, but it really depends on your lighting. Lighting is super important because I don't care if you have a $10 webcam or a $300 webcam. If you don't have the right lighting, you're not going to get the visuals that you want. Now, this EMEET 1080p, it is a 1920 by 1080 video. But when I make my videos with it, and have been for the last year, I started off with that, but now my canvas size is a little bit different. It's 2560 by 1440 and 60 FPS, whereas the maximum FPS, the maximum frames per second for the EMEET is 30 frames per second. But I do a little bit more extreme in preparation for doing something else later. But lighting is super important. So right now, this is basic. This is the basic, unrefined picture as I'm setting up or recording a video in OBS. And it does, like I said, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles that some of them do, but they have zoom, they have autofocus and all that. But no, it has a set focus, so that you're always in the frame. You know, it doesn't span out, it doesn't zoom in when you move your hand, and I don't lose focus on my face. That's fine for my needs, and I've never had a problem with it. But if I wanted to zoom in, I probably could do something like this. It's a trick in OBS where I can just resize it a little bit and do it that way. But I don't really need to do that most of the time. You can handle that in post-production. But lighting is super important, and I'll show you where I have a light over here and I've got a light over here. And you can see the lighting is pretty high. It's getting up to the ceiling. And you can see it's brighter over there than on this side. Let me show you something. It also depends on what lighting you have in your shot. See, if I bring that light, that lamp, into my shot, that changes it a lot. It changes it a lot because of that. But if I move it out of the shot or scale it back out of the shot, it changes it dramatically. And once I start adding filters and color corrections and all that, it can be very different. Like this. So, what if I was to drop some lighting, drop that light over here down more, not have it so bright. So I've turned it off, and now you can see, because I only have this light on now, I'm not getting a great amount of light in front of me, even off of my computer screen. See how that changes the color? So, let me turn it up a little bit. And it's a little bit better. It's not great, but it's a little bit better. But what if I turn on some lighting directly on me? Let's try that. So I have a ring light here. See my red palms, by the way. That's not the camera. That's me. So I have a ring light here giving some low light directly onto me. And that gave me a more direct light. So I've got a light over here, got a light over here, got a slower light over here. And I have these lights in the back that I can turn on to give it a different look. So it really depends on a lot of aspects, like even the color of your walls. Because unfortunately, in this room, my walls are stained and yellow. They used to be white, the same as the ceiling. But, yeah. But that affects the lighting here, even when I'm sitting here. So you see a lot of people doing videos where they have these really interesting lighting effects going on in the background, or darker walls. That plays a major role in how your videos turn out. So I've got that light going here. It's a little bit on me, and I can get it more focused. So this webcam is very good. But I do not like the speakers. I mean, the microphones. The microphones for might be good if it's on, the cam's on top of your monitor, in front of your monitor, and it's pointed directly at you. Now, it's supposed to be the directional thing and all that, but if you're going to make videos, you want to you don't want to use those microphones, because they're not good enough. And there's no, in the software for EMEET, there's no control over what options you can use or turn off or turn on for the microphone, only for the video. And so it's a very good webcam if you use your own microphone. You can make decent videos with it, and I haven't had a problem with it. Now, as I said, I'm making a much wider video, bigger video than the 1920 by 1080 canvas size that would be best. Now I could shrink this screen a little bit, and I'll show you that right now. If I want to shrink the screen a little bit, I could do that and make it even a little better, even with my bigger frame or frame size, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So it's not a bad deal, but I could also use something else. Instead of directly running this EMEET, through OBS as a source, if you had some software for your video card, for me, it's I can use Nvidia's Broadcast because I have an Nvidia RTX card, and so I can use that to process the video through this, and it makes it a very distinct and different look because it processes through the video card rather than going straight to OBS. It's processing through the video card and the software for the video card, and then outputs. And I'll show you that right now. And this is how I'm running it through by Nvidia card. If you notice, my background is blurred a little. And I can have background removal and all sorts of stuff. And I've noticed that the Nvidia background removal, when you're running it through the Nvidia broadcast software, or Blur, if I wanted to take my background out, it's a lot better than the plugin for OBS for background removal. It's much better. It is much better. And you notice that it isn't perfect, but it does a better cropping around me than the plugin does. So this is pretty good, and that's not too bad. Even though I probably could do something else a little differently, but if I shrank my screen and did something, this I don't tend to use a background removal for what my videos, but if I want to get closer in, I could do that. But it does a pretty good job, and if I tweak it some, it could do a lot better. So this is pretty good when I'm going through the Nvidia Broadcast. It really depends on my background too. If I had a solid white background behind me, or green, or something, it would do a lot better than it's doing now, because it's got to process my bed behind me and my sheets and my dirty walls. But I'm fine with just the broadcast's background blur, and you can see right around here the picture behind me, picture on the wall. It's a little bit not so blurred, but that's fine. It really, like I said, it depends on a lot on your lighting. It depends on a lot of aspects to it. But running it through OBS like this, as long as I have the right lighting, I have the right kind of lighting in the background, I have the right filters installed, it's a pretty good webcam, and I have nothing but praise for it. Some people have said they've had issues, but I'm not quite sure what those issues were. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but it is a decent webcam, and I'm doing the extreme over-the-top stuff with it. Even thought I'll make very complex videos, but this is a pretty good webcam. It's good for OBS, works with OBS well, and a lot of things you can do with the filters and the color corrections and the LUTs and whatever you want, and get yourself to where you want to be. But remember, lighting makes all the difference in the world. If you got a $10 webcam or you have a $300 webcam, and this webcam is cost effective, it works well, and even has a privacy screen on the top of it, with flap on the top of it. There's nothing wrong with this, and I've been using it a year, but I did buy a new webcam with the EMEET SmartCam C960 2K, which will work better with my screen layout, and I'm going to play with that shortly. but not today. Anyway, thanks for visiting my channel, and I hope to see you again at another time.